ABC has just settled a lawsuit with the Trump administration, and CBS News is in the process.
George, you remember when you said in 2016 that Donald Trump would never be president? Yeah. How'd that turn out? You and Barack Hussein Obama must have been sharing the same crystal ball from the Dollar Tree. I mean, Obama laughed, Clooney chuckled, and America voted. Next time y'all want to predict the future, maybe try a magic 8-ball. At least that one sometimes gets it right. Welcome to Boney's View. This is Tales with a Twist, episode 5. It's your girl Ella, and I hope y'all didn't miss me too much. But don't worry, I'm back, and today's episode is going to be spicy. We're calling this one Second-Rate Movie Star. Let's dive in. So, what's the deal? 63-year-old actor George Clooney showed up on CBS's 60 Minutes on Sunday night, March 23rd, to promote his Broadway debut as renowned journalist Edward R. Murrow in Good Night and Good Luck. But of course, he couldn't resist taking a shot at the Trump administration. I know it's been almost 2 weeks, but I couldn't stop myself from talking about it either. You know how I do. And Trump? You already know. He wasted no time in clapping back at Clooney on his Truth Social, roasting him as a second-rate movie star. Ouch. Clooney spoke about his decision to withdraw his support for Joe Biden, accusing the Democratic Party of cowardice and covering up Biden's declining health. He even claimed he was forced to tell the truth in a bombshell op-ed calling for Biden to step down. Come on, George, everyone knew about Biden's cognitive decline, but you were all in, right up until that train wreck of a debate with Trump. And now you expect us to take you seriously? Oh, please. Trump, being Trump, wasn't about to let that slide. He fired back on Truth Social. Why would the now highly discredited 60 Minutes be doing a total puff piece on George Clooney, a second-rate movie star and failed political pundit? He fought hard for Sleepy Joe's election, and then, right after the debate, dumped him like a dog. Later, I assume under orders from the Obama camp, pushed all out for Kamala, only to soon realize that this was not going to work out too well. Trump followed. Trump continued. 60 Minutes even fraudulently inserted fake answers into her disastrous interview, and just before Election Day, in one of the most embarrassing and dishonest events in broadcast history. And now George Clooney again. His press agent should be making a fortune. First, Clooney was all in for Biden's second term, like he had the golden ticket or something. And then what happened? After that debate, poof, he ghosted Biden faster than a Hollywood agent dodging a box office bomb. Snow White? Anyone? Then he threw his weight behind Kamala Harris. Did he really feel his Hollywood charisma could fix her lack of charm? My guy really thought a couple of star-studded fundraisers will make people forget her approval ratings. Spoiler alert, they didn't. Others, such as Julia Roberts, also got a reality check. Yes, Pretty Woman herself. She was Team Kamala too, but did it move the needle? Nope. Same for Oprah. She didn't just get a reality check. Nope. She literally got a check. That's because, despite her billions, she somehow got paid production costs to host a town hall for Kamala. Imagine that. She didn't even believe in the product she was selling. And yet, she had the nerve to tell Americans that democracy would end if Kamala lost. Girl, please. And let's not forget Queen Bey and her buzzing Bayhive, ready to sting anyone who doesn't vote Democrat. Or Taylor Swift and her army of Swifties, thinking a pop ballad can swing battleground states. Hate to break it to you ladies, but democracy isn't a dance-off, and America's not picking a prom queen. Turns out, even 100 million Spotify streams can't stream you into the White House. And Obama? Oh, spare me. The great one himself couldn't even make his own endorsement stick. The magic's gone, buddy. He tried shaming black men into voting for Harris, calling them misogynistic if they didn't. Yeah, that went over well. Clooney, who strutted onto 60 Minutes like a martyr, was asked about his New York Times op-ed. I was raised to tell the truth, he claimed. Oh, really, George? That's funny, because your truth seems to have a lot of creative liberties. He actually said, and I quote, "I was surprised when I saw Biden at that fundraiser. George, we were surprised you thought he was fit to run for the second term in the first place. Were you all hoping for some Hollywood magic to make it work? Hate to break it to you, but this ain't a script. It's real life. And in real life, your political instincts, yeah, they bombed harder than Tomorrowland. George, you remember when you boldly declared in 2016 that Trump would never be president? That aged like avocado in a heat wave. And where did I hear that same confidence before?
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president. And the reason is because I have a lot of faith in the American people.
Ah, yes. Barack Hussein Obama. You two should co-host a political prediction show called Absolutely Wrong with George and Barry. First episode, How to Underestimate a Red Hat Revolution. Clooney even had the nerve to call out the cowardice in his own party, stating, "I was not proud of that, and I believed I had to tell the truth." Credit where it's due. George, you are right about the cowardice. A broken clock is right twice a day, after all. He then tried to clean it up. I've always liked Joe Biden, and I like him still. And then he went off about McCarthyism, claiming, "We are seeing this idea of using the government to scare or fine or use corporations to make journalists look smaller. Governments don't like the freedom of the press. They never have." And that goes for whether you are a conservative or a liberal or whatever side you're on. They don't like the press.
ABC has just settled a lawsuit with the Trump administration, and CBS News is...
Okay, Clooney, let's talk about that. Where was this energy when Biden and the Democrats were weaponizing social media to censor conservatives? When they used the legal system to go after their main political opponent? Oh, now, you care about McCarthyism? Right. And of course, Clooney couldn't resist a little message to Trump. Good for you. I hope you do well. We meet again in 3.5 years. Just like in the movie Cliffhanger. But let's be real, most Americans have already tuned out. Maybe save the theatrics for Broadway, George. Well, there you have it. Now, do I agree with Trump that George Clooney is a second-rate movie star? Nah. But I do think he's Hollywood's second-rate political pundit. Keep trying, George. Maybe Ocean 12 will finally give you the political win you've been looking for. It's always a grand awakening when the liberal Hollywood elites realize they don't live in the same universe. Scratch that. Galaxy. As everyday Americans. George Clooney, Julia Roberts, Oprah Winfrey, and their well-moisturized crew couldn't spot a real struggle if it walked past them in Walmart wearing a clearance tag. They just can't relate to the average Joes and Jessicas. And when I say average Joe, I don't mean Biden. He's not average. These folks don't feel the pain of the Joes and Jessicas out there, unless it's in a movie script. And even then, they need a stunt double for empathy. Make sure to check out my previous episodes of Tales with a Twist for more political roasts and deep dives into the shenanigans you won't find in a Hollywood script. And hey, don't forget to check out my take with my girl Tiffany.
Musk, who has been shaking up the federal government through his role in DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, had been making waves with massive firings across departments and even threatening to bring out his chainsaw to cut bureaucracy. But Trump seems to have had enough of the rough approach and decided to bring a little finesse to the table, opting for a scalpel instead of a hatchet.
Dalu Unleashed with my boy Dalu.
The dad, Carmelo's dad, out here talking about his son being a good kid. He says his son's a hard-working A student with a 3.7 GPA. Okay, so he's an A student, so what? Newsflash. The kid he murdered had a 4.0 GPA. The GPA doesn't fix this. And what exactly does it matter if Carmelo was working 2 jobs? He brought a knife to a damn sporting event.
And Chisom's insight with the boss lady herself. Chisom.
But here's the thing. National security isn't a popularity contest. It's about protecting the American people. Period. And Trump isn't backing down. He's even called for Boasberg's impeachment, labeling him a radical left lunatic and troublemaker on social media. Harsh words? Maybe. But after watching Boasberg try to sabotage a constitutionally lawful deportation effort, many Americans agree with Trump's assessment.
More content, more fire, just like this one. Like, comment, share, and hit that subscribe button. Trust me, we're just getting started, and you don't want to miss this ride.